and I studied nutrition. So that was the problem. And eating disorders I now realize that are more rampant than any ever in our life, because we have lost that sense of connection. And what Harsha is doing by getting people to embrace their bodies is a way to really get close to the inner essence of our consciousness, to really connect with the deep part of our consciousness where we know what we want. Like kids, when they are born, they know what they want. They know when to cry. They know what to do. And the mother also instinctively understands, okay, maybe the baby needs this. So one of the top doctors in the world today, he wrote a beautiful book called Pinky Promise, where he's claiming that now kids that are being born are all Krishna avatar, because they have a consciousness that we no longer have. We are so lost in this city life, in the capitalistic, consumeristic culture, that we have lost that deep connection with our inner self. And so if we need to learn today, we need to really look at kids and don't, instead of teaching them, learn from them. What do they want? Do they look at an animal and say, hey, I want to eat its meat? Or do they want to play with the animal? If you give if a bunny rabbit comes inside this room, and you ask all the kids what they want to do with the bunny rabbit, I don't think any kid would want to eat the rabbit. They would want to eat a carrot. So there's a biological instinct to eat fruits and vegetables. If there's cooked rice, or like good quality rice, beans, vegetables, there is a biological instinct that we have, But if you look at an animal, we don't want to be like, okay, let's kill, hunt, and then feed ourselves. So why have we lost this connection? What does science have to say? I'm here to uncover some of that by sharing with you some insights on mindful eating. Mindful eating is the same as, eating with intention, putting some thought into what is going on in our plates, and approaching that plate with this idea that with this mindful awareness that with what I'm going to put in my body, I'm going to become that. That energy is going to become a part of me, and it's going to nourish me. And when what I present to the world outside, to my family and to even myself, to my consciousness, is what I put in my body as fuel. Because the single most important component that we consume, even more than conversations or anything else, is actually food. So nutrition is where it all begins, but nutrition is not all. So the science of healthy living, the school of life, this medicine that I belong to, it's called evidence-based nutrition, where we're looking at scientific evidence where research papers that are published in the nutrition journal, the medical journal, all research papers that make it to the nutrition journal, they are very prestigious, because not a random research, you do a random research with the scientist, it can't make to the medical journal. In order for a research to make it to the medical journal, it has to go through certain scientific parameters. It has to be randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, peer-reviewed. It has to be a cross-sectional or a longitudinal crossover research. There are so many scientific parameters to do a scientific study or a clinical study. And when you follow each and every one of these parameters, you then check who has funded this research. Is it the almond industry that wants us to believe almonds are good for the brain? Or is it the chocolate industry telling us that kids dark chocolate is good for you? Like, there are so many myths. Chia seeds are a superfood suddenly. So one average person who does not know what is research can read an article or 10 articles on the internet and find themselves very confused. What does science really have to say? Because on the internet, if you go to this website, Got Milk, where Don the Rock Johnson, one of the biggest celebrities of Hollywood, he's sipped on a glass of milk and there's a massive 100-feet billboard, and not one, hundreds of those throughout the US. And he has this white, it's covered with the milk, and he's like, got milk? Why don't you drink milk? I'm drinking milk because it's Mother Nature's perfect creation. But when you look at got milk and all the research that they are quoting, the research doesn't have, it has all the parameters, but it has a big industry bias, because we follow research that the industry wants us to believe. So the first step to really understanding what we are putting in our body, I'm going to today share a 6-step approach. The first step is, what is nutrition? What is the science of nutrition? Second, what else goes into our plate? And then move on to a complete 6-step approach to mindful eating that can help you, empower you with choosing your plate more consciously every day. The first step is knowing what's right. What is real nutrition? Because this industry wants us to believe Amul doodh pita hai India, like all of India, like Sunday or Monday, every day, ande. It's like they want us to believe that something that is biologically not designed for us is normal for us. And a refined white bread with a refined jam and butter is an ideal breakfast for a child with a glass of milk and orange juice. If you follow the diet chart that they prescribe to a 3rd grade, 4th grade child today, they are not going to complete their nutritional requirement, because the industry has gotten into our system, our education system. And today I have MBBS doctors that are my clients, and they're calling me, Chef, nutritionist Varun, what do I eat? I'm getting fat, I'm getting diabetes, my clients, they're also sick. I'm tired of doing a heart surgery on my client, and this client is coming back 3 years later for another heart surgery. I am not able to treat the cause. I am only treating the symptoms. I'm tired. Many doctors are awakening. Like their system never taught them nutrition. They are top surgical experts, but doctors are not recommended for nutrition advice. If you think you should ask your doctor what to eat, I'm sorry. You can get them to have a chat with me. And I can really question them. I'm sorry, you have not studied nutrition. What, 6 hours? 6 hours, you won't even understand what is fat, protein, carbohydrate in detail. Forget antioxidants, polyphenols, micronutrients, minerals, vitamins. There are 60 minerals that you need. You isolate one mineral, calcium. Mother Nature's perfect creation. Cow's milk gives us calcium. I can isolate zinc. Where do you get your zinc from? What about manganese? What about magnesium? I can ask you 60 other minerals, hundreds of antioxidants, polyphenols, isoflavones. These are all essential for your body. Where are you getting them from? But the industry has taken away that instinctive knowledge, and therefore we need to really look at science, because science has done tens of thousands of research papers and published the research, and once we filter through the bias, we now know what is real science and what is real truth. So the first step to mindful eating is to really go for credible sources. So today I have made a small presentation for you. I can forward it to Harsha, he can send it to all of you. And this presentation includes the same 6-step approach that I'm talking about. And the first step includes certain links. The first is understanding the daily dozen. Daily dozen means daily, every day. Dozen means 12. Daily dozen means there are 12 food groups that you need daily. If you are missing one food group in your diet today, even one of them, even one food group you're not eating consistently for 3 or more months, the chances that you will develop a certain nutrient deficiency are very high. If not today, maybe 6 years, 10 years, 20 years later, if you haven't given your body with those specific nutrients that are found in even one of the 12 food groups, you are going to develop nutrient deficiencies. Poshan ki kami ho jayegi. Like all the nutrient deficiencies are the leading causes of any disease. Any disease will come when you don't have the right nutrients in the right balance in your body. To protect your body from, to give your body the right balance of food, of nutrition, you need to include each one of the 12 in the specific quantity, from beans, berries, fruits, vegetables of 3 types: cruciferous vegetables, leafy vegetables, starchy colored mushroom and other vegetables. These are 3 different types of vegetables. There are nuts and seeds, or rather seeds and nuts, because seeds are very healthy, even healthier than nuts. Then there are herbs and spices. There is water, which impacts our body even more than food does. The quality of water, the quantity of water, all makes a lot of difference. Too much water can also cause a lot of pressure in the kidneys. Very little water will cause dehydration. So a balance of all of these 12 food groups is very essential. That's point number 1. So I would encourage you to check out the Daily Dozen. It's everywhere. It's on the internet. It's on a mobile application you can also download. And it's very simple. It will take you a few days to get used to it. But once you just start ticking, it's one of the easiest tools, and the only one tool that I recommend. I don't recommend counting calories. I recommend counting nutrition. Are you getting the right nutrients? So that's the first step. It starts with deciding what to put on your plate. It has to be nutritionally balanced and complete, and has to have balance, and you have to figure these out in your own way. If you feel like eating most of them for breakfast, it's up to you. Most of them for dinner or lunch, up to you. If you feel like breakfast can be your heaviest meal of the day, go for it. If you feel you're not a breakfast person, lunch, then go for lunch. But dinner after 5 or 6, I don't recommend keeping it heavy, because that will really affect your sleep. So choosing a light dinner or maybe even skipping dinner is a good idea. Or having an early dinner, on the other hand. And keeping it nutritionally complete as much as possible. I've also included resources like Dr. Nandita Shah's Sharan India, which is an incredible resource. She is one of the leading doctors. She's also a member of an international organization called the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine, where doctors from all over the world are saying we are tired of treating our patients with medicine, with these drugs. We need lifestyle intervention. Another resource is the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, where they're literally using lifestyle changes, right nutrition and mindfulness, good sleep, yoga, meditation, to really bring balance to our body and mind. One of the doctors who's a member of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine is actually in Bangalore, and a good friend of mine, Dr. Achyutan Ishwar. He runs a very good company called Sampurna Ahara. Have you heard of Sampurna Ahara? Anyone? It's really good. You can just go to nutritionscience.in, and he has courses. What I am saying, there is no difference in what Dr. Nandita Shah will say or Dr. Achyutan will say. There is actually, Bangalore is one of my favorite places to come to, because there are the most number of these evidence-based nutrition people who really understood the science of nutrition and done their research. And the nutritionscience.in and nutritionscience.in and sampurnaahara.com can be your go-to resources for local knowledge, because he speaks Kannada. And then there is another institution here called Nature Will Holistic Center, run by Upasana, and she's the same as me. We are literally educated on the same subject, which is whole food nutrition. So whole food nutrition, using whole food. If you think of protein powders or any supplements, we need to understand they are not biologically designed for us. We have every right to give our body and our family's bodies all the nutrients that we need in our daily life from the food itself. Why can't we get all that we need from food? And good sleep and a good lifestyle and trusting relationships. If food can be that foundation for us, right? So educating ourselves on how to improve our plates daily is a good idea. I'm not personally, as a nutritionist, when I work one-on-one with my clients, or when I'm hosting retreats and education programs, I never tell people to stop eating samosa or stop drinking Coca-Cola or eating French fries. That's a reduction approach. You all know none of this is healthy. I don't think anyone would agree that a samosa is healthy. Maybe healthy for the soul, not healthy for the body, right? Or Coca-Cola is healthy, but it's being advertised to us. We are brainwashed. We don't know whether mixing fruits and vegetables is okay. We face so many challenges when we're dealing with everyday nutrition. Oh, what did I eat? How is it affecting my gut? But let me tell you, did you know that 95% of the serotonin, which is the happiness hormone, people with depression do not have this. People with that vitamin D deficiency do not have this. Serotonin, the happiness, the sunshine hormone, is produced by the living bacteria in our gut. And if we do not have a relationship with our gut, with our intestines, we do not get dopamine or serotonin, norepinephrine, these essential brain hormones in our brain. So the right plate, choosing the right nutrients, the right food groups, which should be whole grains, beans, berries and fruits, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices and all of these, and different types of vegetables. All of these 12 food groups, which you can check out at the Daily Dozen, form a strong foundation of what you need daily to be nutritionally complete. Having said that, there are still a few supplements that you might need daily. Like because we wear clothes when we are out in the sun, and in cities there's so much pollution, we don't get enough vitamin D. I recommend 800 to 2000 IU supplement daily. It's written in the presentation. Also vitamin B12, we are biologically designed to get it from the water. If you come to where I'm from, Dharamshala, if you drink the water from the stream, you don't need a supplement because you're getting it in the water. Just 1 liter of water has enough vitamin B12 that you need daily. But because we put chlorine in the water today, which is a good thing because it gets rid of the bacteria like Salmonella or E. coli or other harmful bacteria, it's important to chlorinate the water, but when we do that, we get rid of some of the essential minerals and almost all of the vitamins, including vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 is so essential. Essential means a dog makes his own vitamin C. A dog does not need to eat fruits and vegetables to get his vitamin C. But human beings, we stopped making vitamin C hundreds of thousands of years ago. 100,000 years, 1 lakh years ago, we stopped making vitamin C because we were getting it in our diet. Our body is so intelligent. It thought that, okay, we don't need to work so hard to make it. Dogs, how they evolved, from wolves, they never had the privilege of so much vitamin C in their diet, so they still have to make vitamin C. For them, it's not an essential nutrient. For us, vitamin C is an essential nutrient. The word essential means this nutrient we need from our diet. We do not make it ourselves. So these are the 2 vitamins that I recommend. There are a few more, but like zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, but zinc you can get from a good dose of pumpkin seeds and other seeds like sesame seeds, if you were including these seeds consciously in your daily diet. But when you have sources like refined oils and even cold pressed oils, or any oil is a processed food, or butter or any ghee, then it doesn't absorb all the nutrition from the sesame seed properly. So you have to sort of understand that it's only when you eat a low-fat diet that you're maximizing the intake of all the nutrients. A low-fat diet that is centered on whole food, whole plant foods is a healthy diet. So that's all about supplementation, water and food. The next step to eating is the way we eat, assemble the plate. If you want to eat spinach is calorically got more protein than beef or chicken. So per calorie, spinach offers not just protein. We're very worried about protein, and protein powders have become such a big market. An unnecessary product, a biologically unnatural product like protein powder is being sold to us as something we need. And it's common, oh, after workout, have your protein shake. Because maybe you're not getting enough. I'm sorry, that's not true. We get enough protein, but you know what we don't get? It's not enough fiber. And fiber is found in beans, whole grains, and primarily leafy green vegetables, spinach, mustard greens, red amaranth leaves, fenugreek leaves. How about radish leaves or beetroot leaves or turnip greens? Or I don't know how many you have in Bangalore, but where I come from in Dharamshala, we have over 15 varieties of leafy green vegetables. We have buckwheat there. We eat it like from the wild. We don't need to grow this. There is stinging nettle. We eat it daily, like in our weekly menu. It is a beautiful feature, a really tasty leaf, and we cook it. And you need to eat leafy greens because it's so nutritionally dense. But if you are to eat leafy greens today, you had to start yesterday. You had to buy it a day before, clean it and have it ready, You can't think, okay, I'm going to have lunch and a salad which has got 10 components in it. 10, like there is whole grains, there is this kind of fruit, there is this kind of vegetable, there is this kind of fat from, let's say, avocado or sesame or whatever, pumpkin seeds or flax seeds or whatever fat source you have, and it's a complete salad bowl, for example. Or a nourishing meal, let's say a meal with the rice, or brown rice or red rice or whole grain like any millet, with some sambar and some palya and some salad, and it's a complete meal with whole grains, beans in the sambar, some salad, and it's like a complete meal. And if it's a nutritionally complete meal, the preparation has to start a day prior. In fact, I encourage you to plan your weekly menu as much as possible. And as a nutritionist, that's what I do. I help people plan their diets so that they know what their diet looks like and they have a larger picture of, how diets work, how when they go back home, what is their go-to meal. Because each individual is so unique. Where I come from, I also eat the same food that you do, but differently. I cook it differently. We in the north cook food very differently than how you do in Karnataka and south. So for us, it's like our plates look very different. But if you think of it, if you go to Africa, they eat very, very differently. But traditional Mali, which is in West Africa, they eat upwards of 100 grams of fiber a day. A modern Indian diet, 80% of us do not eat enough fiber. Fiber is the nutrient of concern, not protein. We don't get enough fiber today. But no one talks about it. Everyone's like, where's the protein powder? Because they are making money out of it. No one's making money by selling you vegetables because they are so cheap and available at the local market. So many people are selling it for 30 rupees. You get a bunch that can feed 2 or 3 people easily. So it's so cheap, so affordable. People don't make money by selling spinach. And that's in a way a sad thing because they're giving us the real nourishment. And because we are thinking, hey, it's okay to eat like a veg puff or like a chaat in the evening without thinking that if we're eating all of this, we are not eating enough of what's right. And that planning has to come in order to make that possible. Also, cooking requires not just planning of the weekly menu, but to organize and approach that act of cooking with love and care, that okay, I'm doing something, I'm assembling something that is a pure act of love to my own self. I'm going to nourish my body with the best nutrients possible. And in order to do that, I'm going to cook with love, because the intention that you cook with goes into the food. If you find someone cooking very angrily, they might not end up making a good recipe. And they might end up putting too much salt or too much oil, and it might not be a pleasant experience. So cooking with intention requires not just the act of cooking has to be done with love, but also with planning and gratitude. Then comes the ritual of eating. When you have your plate in front of you, you have to understand before you eat, maybe it's important to set a good intention that I intend to eat each bite mindfully with grace and finish each bite with grace. Each bite I'm going to chew thoroughly because it's going to become my prana. Eventually, it's going to become a part of my consciousness. So why not take each bite as an opportunity to really mindfully. It's not like you can't talk when you're eating. If you feel like talking, talk. But try to be mindful of your bite. It's like one of the basic etiquettes that we are taught when we are kids is not to talk while we are chewing. But many of us forget this. So as a nutritionist, I find myself reminding people, hey, just don't talk while you're chewing. Just chew first and then talk. This is just a small example, but the act of eating has to have a strong intention that I'm going to eat each bite mindfully. I'm going to eat healthy. And after that comes gratitude. I'm so grateful that I've made that intention. Gratitude for ourselves. Acknowledge that I am so grateful that I've set this intention. I am so grateful for all the farmers who worked so hard day and night. In India, we have the highest farmer suicide in the world. But they are the ones which give us the food that we are eating. This government, I don't know what they're doing, but farmer suicides have gone the highest ever in India's history. In terms of percentage of our population, it has, and the numbers, both. We have never had seen this. This is a catastrophe. And companies like Reliance and these Adani, they are becoming so big, and they are doing these so-called organic farms, and they are massive, non-corporate, they're private-owned farms. They are implementing modern farming techniques, and the poor farmers are being left behind. And that's the reality. So when we're eating local produce, which is full of the real nutrition that we need to eat, whole grains, seeds and nuts, berries, fruits and beans from like peas, lentils, and all kinds of legumes, we are supporting the local farmers also. So, and acknowledging their hard work. I'm so grateful for their hard work. I'm so grateful for everyone who's involved in the process of putting this plate in front of me, and to anyone else who's cooked it for me. If I have not cooked it entirely myself, whoever has helped me, you can just take a minute to be grateful. Gratitude is an alternative to guilt, to anger, to any other emotion. Whatever emotion you're feeling, if you get into rage, if you get into a manic episode, try gratitude. Like, hey, why don't I be just grateful for what I have? Because we humans tend to take what is, bad and hurtful for us a little more seriously than what is actually good for us. We might end up thinking about 2 negative things all day and forget being grateful for the hundreds of positives that are right in front of us. So gratitude can be that alternative emotion that we need to acknowledge when the plate is in front of us. And lastly, affirming strongly. Now that you've set the intention, the gratitude is done, the last part is to affirm. I commonly use this affirmation. You can use your own. I use this affirmation every time I'm eating. I don't necessarily recite it. When I can, I do. I look at my plate and I say, I eat in abundance. I eat in joy. I'm thankful for my ability to choose, and I choose nourishment. With that strong affirmation, I dive into the act of eating. When I'm eating, each bite, I try to be mindful. If I get distracted, I use my breath to come back to the present moment, because my breath is my home. I use my breath, I use my awareness. If you think of mindfulness, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is using all 5 of your senses to be present in the moment, from smell, taste, touch, all sensations, all 5 sensations. And if there is one act where you put all 5 of them together, you're looking at it, you're hearing the sounds, you're feeling it, you're smelling it, you're tasting it, all 5 senses are thoroughly involved. The only one act is actually the act of eating. In meditation, we are not looking at anything, or we are not tasting anything. When we're talking to someone mindfully, we're not tasting anything. We might not even be looking, or we might be engaging some senses and not some others. Every act we should do as mindfully as possible, but when it comes to eating, it's the perfect opportunity to engage all 5 of our senses. So engaging all 5 of our senses and finishing the meal with patience. This is the 4th part, the act of eating itself, where we're engaging all 5 of our senses. Now the 5th part is, once we're done with my meal, now that I've eaten my plate, I need to relax. One day I went to the restaurant and I had 2 clients. It was very hectic, and I finished and I'm like, okay, because when you're taking someone else's load, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of energy. that goes into planning, preparing and guiding and working, listening to someone with pure empathy and love, and just with the intention of helping them become their best. It is work. And what happened, we were getting some renovation work done. There were some bamboo craftsmen and they were working with bamboo to make that bamboo frame. And I went and I'm like, why are you not working? I asked them, why are you not working? Why are you sitting down? Why don't you work? I was a little angry, carrying all that energy from the session. I bursted on them. And they said, Bhaiya, we have just eaten the food. Give us 5-10 minutes, we will start. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I just realized that I reacted. I didn't respond, I reacted. And I said, I'm so sorry, please take your time. Tell me how's it going. And that was just an example of sometimes we eat and we're like rushing. Oh, I'm running late for my work class, let's go. Oh, I'm running late for work, let's go. Because integrating is very important. Try this. Instead of rushing or if you have to go, just close your eyes and say, I trust that the food that I have eaten will nourish me. I trust everyone who I love and their intentions for me. I trust that I love everyone with pure intentions. Just saying these 3 affirmations or anything that you want to come up with. Affirmation of trust can help us integrate the meal after we've eaten. Try not to get up immediately. If you want to get up and do your dish, like do your dishes, do your plates, but take a minute to sit down and relax. It can be very profound and give your digestive system a kickstart. Otherwise, what happens? The state of parasympathetic nervous system response, called the rest and digest state, does not even get activated. The act of eating itself, we are doing in like a state of fight, flight or freeze. And what happens? This is called a sympathetic response of the nervous system. Our nervous system controls the way we react or respond in this society. And by doing this yoga, you are seeing so many changes in your everyday existence, because what yoga does, it calms your nervous system down. It empowers you to reconnect with your parasympathetic nervous system, to reconnect with your rest and digest nervous system. But if we are rushing after the meal, we are now in fight, flight, freeze. We're like, oh no, work, oh no, yoga class, oh no, family obligations, whatever it can be. If we don't integrate the meal, maybe it's not the best idea. Sometimes it's okay, but try to integrate, meals as much as possible. So relaxation, trust and awareness. Lastly, some tips on mindful eating. Sometimes we're eating like a snack and we're not choosing the snack. In my opinion, apart from breakfast, lunch and dinner, if you're snacking on something, it's got to be, the preference should be berries or fruits. Try an amla. I don't know how many of you like amla or like any other berry. Strawberries are in season right now. So make the most of it. Try organic if it's possible. If it's not, it's okay. Just buy strawberries and clean them thoroughly and just eat as many as possible. They are so good. Fresh fruits and berries are lowest calories. They are full of antioxidants. They are Mother Nature's call for us to just snack. If you think of a mango, if it's cut and put in front of you, if I do it right now, you will all be like, okay, mango. It's biologically natural for us to think of mango as something we can snack on. Why do we need all the Uncle Chips and Lays and all the things like the chakna in the market? Think about it. It's deep fried in palm oil. Palm oil has trans fats and saturated fats, and it's the worst oil for you. So, anything that is deep fried is bad. Even if it's fried in healthy oil, it's not going to become magically healthy. If it's a samosa fried in cold pressed sunflower oil, it's not healthy. It's still samosa, right? Okay, if it's made of whole wheat and it's baked in the oven or air fried, maybe it's healthy. But it's usually made with maida and it's usually deep fried. So that's not an ideal snack for us. So they're the same that you might end up eating at your family occasion when you're visiting your relatives. They offer you some snacks that are deep fried. It's suddenly switched now. What Dr. Achyutan has done by creating Sampoorna Ahara is made your snacking like sorted. And obviously, I think they also have a tiffin service, whole food plant-based tiffins, oil-free, like not a drop of oil goes in the food. and the vegetables are just as delicious as they're supposed to be. They're a little less salty. You can add salt if you feel like, if you're not used to eating less salt. But otherwise, I feel the work he has done is incredible. There is also many other brands coming up in India that are offering conscious snacking with dried fruits. For example, dates are also really nice snacks. Figs, raisins are also nice snacks. If nuts, you should have less as possible. Just like 5-7 almonds is enough. More than that is not a good idea. Or like 7-8 walnuts is the upper limit. Walnuts are the healthiest nuts. Or like pumpkin seeds, maybe 2, maximum 3 tablespoons is all that you need. More than that is something I do not recommend. And that's all the fat you need. It's enough. There is fat in spinach as well. In whole grains there is fat. There is protein in seeds. There is carbohydrates in seeds. Each whole food has all that we need in balance. If you feel like you're craving fat, try seeds and nuts. If you feel like you want a snack, try fresh fruits or dried fruits and berries. So that's all. Snacking, and this is all that I had to share today. Mindful eating. It's started with educating yourself about nutrition. Please go to these resources. The links are there. Just find these resources. There are the websites that I'm recommending, the application that I recommended. It's all there. Just read it. Try to log into the daily dozen. Try to make your everyday plates as nutritionally balanced as possible. Second, approach food with some planning and mindfulness. Cook with love. Third, the ritual of eating should start with gratitude, intention setting and affirmations. Fourth, the ritual of eating itself should be sacred. It's like going to the temple. You're visiting your own temple today. And fifth, the act of eating should finish with integration. You should spend time integrating what you've eaten. Just trust. I trust the people in my life. I trust everyone. I trust myself. I trust this food is going to nourish me fully. Even if you've eaten like something that is questionable, just say that, let's see how it happens. And have an inward sense of understanding. Oh, how is my gut feeling? How is my heart? How is my throat? How is my face? How is my legs? So, how are the different organs in my body? Just have a connection with your back. All the mindfulness you do with Harsha every day, put that into practice after the meal. That's the best time to do it. Lastly, if there's any snacking you need to do, try to snack on whole foods as much as possible. Dried or fresh, fruits and berries are the best options. Amla is my favorite. Then conscious snacking of other things. That's all I had to share. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, how did you like the talk? Please tell me.
See, a lot of you been asking about the nutrition part and the part to cut. And I will talk about those things because what I follow, it's not possible to you guys to following every day. But probably be motivated for one day. And see, he comes from a different perspective. I come from most of my teachings will most of the times be woo or like black harsh will. And I'm not the right person for always helping you with Kaya with a wholesome approach, but say okay, what do you have to eat, how you have to eat, and I never explain like him because I'm not interested. And his understanding of everything will play a very, very crucial role in your everyday reading also. Because everyone who comes asks about, the diet habits, the nutrition part or whatever. I know how you guys are getting affected because of improper food habits and everything. So we told about snacks, right? I've never eaten biscuits in my life. Ever. Biscuits, coffee, let's say. Yesterday, you even gave the chocolate, the cocoa itself. Never. Before the cycle, it has nothing to do with yoga. By default, you see, when you do this sadhana, and you take it up as a sadhana, there are many cases which you start to practice even without your own knowledge. Like milk, after my mother's, after she fed, milk quantity is like very, very less. Never had the habit of drinking milk at all. Nowadays, even when I was young, I had this habit of giving the kids one glass of sleep before they go to sleep. My mother never fed me anyway. I'm like super healthy and my bones strong enough. We've seen how I miss it. It has nothing to do with this. But he has a very nice understanding, because since I can't come and explain and have his perspective, please get in touch with it. If you want to know about your nutrition, I share his details. I put him in a separate, law. I have like 15, 20 people who want whatever he's sharing right now. And we'll get to that. We'll get this other Bishop to me pass on to maybe they will share that perspective.
Absolutely.
But he has a nice, because especially for women, I don't even have to get started what all hormonal imbalances and the health issues you have. You definitely need his help and his understanding in respect to what is that. Because if you don't understand what is food, what I teach makes actually no sense. And his understanding makes a obvious difference for what you're about to learn. Another 20 years, it's nice, you live peacefully, right? Off the medicine and off everything. Why too much spend on doctors when you can be conscious and mindful about, like, you're putting in effort 3 times in a day to eat. It's a lot of effort, right? To do something 3 times regularly, religiously. Okay, if not religiously, regularly. You can definitely, I'll share his contact details if you guys want, because he does consultations and he provides all the details as to a complete plan as to how you have to go about a nutrition-based diet and everything. You can get in touch with him, hopefully as a visit, and he conducts a retreat also.
So we conduct these 2 retreats. One is called Shuddhi. It's a detox program. There are 80,000 synthetic chemicals today in our environment that we are breathing every day, absorbing through our skin and eating in our food. So these are the 3 major intake of toxins and nutrients for us: skin, breath, and food. These are the 3 forms of intake. So at the retreat, we focus on cleansing all 3. There is sauna for deep skin detox. There is neti for cleansing the nasal passages, and there is enema for. So these are all guided sessions. But the food is also the highlight. You're focusing on a diet that cleanses the liver. It cleanses the gut. And when your gut is healthy, your liver is healthy, you set a strong foundation. And living and breathing this air itself is enough to require a detox once a while. So that's the program where you can come for a detox, and we also empower. This is just a small taster. Like, this is a ragi laddu that I've made you taste today. It's not a meal. It's not like 7 meals. It's like when you spend 5 full days with us, you end up learning so much about how you can do a detox at home. So and how to empower yourself with the knowledge of the right nutrition when it comes to detox. The second retreat that we do is called Nature to Nutrition. It's a longer 7-day retreat, so it's a total 9-day program. During the 7 days, the first 2 days is detox again, because why not just cleanse the body and set a good intention. When you empty stomach, you sleep empty stomach, you wake up, you feel so light and fresh. You eat a heavy meal, you won't feel nice. And if we give you certain detox tools, certain medicines, certain plant medicine, what will happen? You will wake up super cleansed, super energized, and imagine doing that for 2 nights directly. The 3rd day, you're ready. And now the next 5 days, you're learning how to eat in balance: breakfast, lunch, dinner. You're empowering yourself with so many recipes and an international menu: breakfast, lunch and dinner. And you're learning how food can work. So you see food at a expansive level like never before. A whole food menu for full 7 days, especially the 5 days of nourishment, empowers you with hundreds of recipes, if not thousands, at least a few hundreds of recipe ideas you will get during the 5 days. So you're it's an educational experience. When I go back, and there are psychotherapy-based journaling exercises to dive deeper into your childhood, to also question, why do I treat food the way I do? So you get to know yourself a little better. There is psychotherapy-based journaling, of the past childhood. There is psychotherapy-based journaling on present. Cognitive and behavioral tools to help you track your diet daily. There are different tools that are there in the journal, including weekly meal planning menus. And we do these exercises, we handhold you to go through these, because this is basic education that we should have been given at school level. And I also have an NGO called the Bodhi Greens Foundation. We're trying to work with children who are from underprivileged backgrounds and giving the same information for free, because if you think about it, if we can just make certain of these expensive ingredients, like today we are polishing the rice and it's making it white in color, and it's cheaper. It's unbelievable how a refined version is less expensive. It's cheaper to buy white rice, right? It should be cheaper to buy red rice, because it goes through one less process, but they are charging us more money. So how the NGO's work is to get into the science of that and make it affordable, accessible, available to the underprivileged section of our society. The work is in Dharamshala itself, but these retreats are open for, the medium is English, and these are more for people who have a larger perspective of life. So if you're feeling like you need this empowerment, there are daily sessions on nutrition. Ishani takes the yoga sessions, both in the Shuddhi and the nutrition, nature to nutrition retreats. And there is a psychotherapist, a life coach that helps you dive into the inner world. I can't do everything. I'm just the nutrition and the food expert. She's the mindfulness expert. He's the wellness expert. So these are the retreats. And I also run a whole food, like a product line and a restaurant. It's all in Dharamkot, Dharamshala, where Harsha has to visit soon. And there is vegan ghee, but ghee is something you don't need. Please, the ghee is not healthy. If you think ghee is healthy and you need daily, I'm sorry, the Ayurveda doctors, the industry is funded by unfortunately the dairy industry in India is the richest dairy industry. Even the got milk example of Don the Rock Johnson, Amul will laugh at the revenue of the company in the US. It's the world's richest dairy companies are Indian dairy companies. And if you think of whole food, we're biologically designed to get all our nutrients from plants. We don't have canine teeth. Even chimpanzees have bigger canines than us. And they eat vegetables, man. So how on earth we're supposed to eat any animal product? I just don't, it doesn't make any sense. So try to include plant-based alternatives. If you want ghee, a teaspoon or a tablespoon a day is the upper limit. Beyond that is something you're going overboard, because then even if you're eating whole fat sources, let's say you eat an avocado, or you eat sesame seed, flax seeds, pumpkin seed, melon seeds, walnuts, you will not absorb the seeds and nuts properly because you've eaten coconut oil or ghee. Anything refined or butter, it's stopping you from absorbing the nutrients that are in the whole fat food groups, seeds and nuts specifically. So it's not healthy. If you want to switch to this company called EMKAY. They have a vegan ghee. It's when you're transitioning to a zero ghee or a ethical ghee or a choice, then it's a good alternative to have. But overall, it's something that I personally would not recommend you to have daily. Try to reduce it as much as possible. And all refined fats, you can just simply write this sesame oil nutrition on Google, and Google will give you a nutrition chart. It has zero fiber, zero protein, zero calcium, 0, 0, 0 everything. But if I had a presentation board, I could do it right now, but screen large enough, and you would be surprised. Sesame oil, which is the so-called superfood in Chinese medicine, in Ayurveda medicine, it's superfood. I can't believe. Unfortunately, has zero nutrition. Zero. There is no calcium in it. There is no protein. If you write sesame nutrition, just remove the oil. So first Google searches, you have to do it, okay? Sesame oil nutrition. Just read the nutrition chart. Every value is zero. The highest value is saturated fat. 70% of your recommended allowance in 100 grams of sesame oil, which is the worst oil on the planet. Worst fat on the planet. Worst oil should probably be dalda, or like the in which the most of our processed packet food is deep fried, no? Lays and all, is the palm oil. That's the worst because it has trans fats. But even something so-called healthy like sunflower oil, ghee or coconut oil has zero nutrition. Just remove the oil. Sesame nutrition without the oil, 97% of your daily need of calcium. Over 80% of your daily need of magnesium, manganese, potassium, zinc, sulfur. Everything is there. There is 18 grams of protein in every 100 grams of sesame seeds. There is 12 grams of fiber. That is around 48% of what an average 2000 calorie man needs every day. Imagine, sesame has everything in it, but sesame oil has nothing in it. So when we're isolating protein or isolating a vitamin or a mineral, except for the ones that we really need to in today's day and age of hygiene and health, like city, we are missing the point. We need to understand what is the right balance of the food that is biologically natural, what my ancestors have been eating. If they lived such healthy lives and lived up to be so lit. If you look at blue zones are these 5 places in the world where they have the highest populations of people living above the age of 100, centenarians. Highest population of people living above the age of 100, these 5 geographical locations, they all have a diet that is 95% whole plant foods. Even the Ikaria where they eat pasta, they eat whole wheat pasta or used to eat whole wheat pasta. They eat olive oil, they eat very less olive oil. What is it that they eat then? They eat dairy products, they eat meat, but very, very little. They mostly eat lots of vegetables, lots of beans, and lots of fruits and berries and whole grains. That was their ancestry. Today, 4 of the 5 blue zones are no longer blue zones because there is a KFC, McDonald's and a Subway in all of these 5 blue zones, unfortunately. And the only one, which is Loma Linda in California, which is still a blue zone, where one of the most amazing doctors, if you think of this retreat idea that I do, it's nothing but inspired from his work, Dr. Neil Nedley. He's a psychologist and a gastroenterologist. So he's a mental health and a gut health doctor. The serotonin that is produced in the gut, so he's a gastroenterologist doctor, and the serotonin that is used in the brain, he's a brain doctor. So, and he is from that blue zone. He is from Loma Linda in California. He's the president of the Weimar University. And his research on gut health, mental health is profound. You should, if you want that link, it's not there. You can go to New Start, NEWSTART, newstart.com. Crazy. New Start nutrition, N for nutrition, E for exercise, W for water, S for sunlight, T for temperance, which is balance, air, rest, and trust. This New Start. It's a beautiful acronym for approaching our diet and whole lifestyle with more holism. Alright, sorry, that's a lot of talking. I don't know, you'll forget all the bits, I'm talking too much. You tell me, how did you like the talk? Is there any question that you have? No? You didn't like the talk? Oh, okay.
Yes, if you ask why this is
Kyori could later month visit.
ಅದೇ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕುದ್ದಿನವರೆಲ್ಲ ಚಿಕ್ಕವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಯಾವುದು ಕೆಸಿ
April.
I'm good. Yeah. Well, lot of myth. Don't put oil or much oil. Use little oil or no oil. Then air fryer is healthy. If you use oil, what happens? The heat and its air fryer is like a pressure cooker and an oven together. It's like using air pressure and not just temperature but air pressure to cook. So because of that, certain fats, saturated fats, become trans fats, and that's very unhealthy. It leads to certain chemical reactions, certain toxins that are generated in our food, But that only happens when you're making a samosa with so much oil on top. It's an air fryer, you will not put much oil. The whole point of using an air fryer is to make the samosa without oil or with less oil. So it's perfectly healthy for that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. High temperature, low temperature is the best because high temperature causes Maillard reaction. So that is, from the perspective of age and longevity. In nutrition, we have a full subject, it's like a detailed course on its own. It's on longevity, age, how to prolong our age, but not like living old with disease, but with health and vitality, with super health, healthy body, mind, and soul. There is a book called How Not to Age, where if you're into longevity, then you should not eat much of the oven-baked food or deep-fried food, or even cook much of you should try to maximize raw food and steamed food or boiled food as much as possible. The normal gobi, let's say we're making, it doesn't reach much temperature. Gobi is cooking in the water that is inside the gobi, in the cabbage or the cauliflower. When you're cooking cauliflower, if you don't use oil, if you want a no oil recipe, my Instagram is full of no oil recipes. I take a cup full of air, pour it, and that's how much oil I use, air. Pretend you have used oil, make the recipe as it is. It will turn out to be the same, no difference. But if you're just starting out, use less oil. Use a teaspoon or half teaspoon to start with. And when you cook the gobi, you don't add water, right? So because there is enough water in the vegetable itself. So it's steaming. Therefore, the temperature doesn't go above 100 and 105. 100 or 105, so it doesn't go beyond that. So it's very healthy. If you're baking the cauliflower in the oven, making a crispy cauliflower salad, temperature 180, then it's higher. 250, much higher. Deep fry 220. It's very bad. That's not good. That's absolutely false. That's a myth. There are so many myths in nutrition. Like you believe chia seeds are healthy and almonds are good for your brain. Chocolate is a superfood. These are also myths.
So when we talk about fats, it's only through wholesome food.
Absolutely. How nature designed it for us. Pumpkin seeds. Or like sesame seeds or flaxseed powder.
That's the source of fat.
That's enough source of fat. There is fat in spinach as well. In whole grains there is fat. There is fat in everything that we're eating. If you look at all successful civilizations which are disease-free, not civilizations which are living old and are full of disease and going to hospitals, health care, not sick care. Like I'm a healthcare professional, I'm not a sick care professional because my job is to prevent you from going to the hospital. It might require going for a blood test, for dental checkups, for ultrasound, for urine and stool checkups, allergy tests. These are essentials because you're investing in healthcare, not in sick care. All food has everything we need to eat. Fat, enough fat. And speak to Dr. Achyutan, he speaks Kannada, or Upasana, I don't know if she speaks Kannada, but they are living in Bangalore. I'm from Dharamshala and I happen to be in Bangalore and I happen to be Harsha's new friend. So I'm here. Otherwise, they are your go-to resources. I also do one-on-one clients and most of my clients are online. If you need my help, I'm here to guide you. I'm here to help. But they are, Kannada speakers and they are literally living the life that I would be living if I were in Bangalore. With the same principles of no fat, no refined fat. Not a no fat. Fat is there, but not from refined sources. You go to this restaurant called Cafe Grace. I'm going there Tuesday for lunch if you want to join. But it's a whole food. Coca-Cola is vegan. Vegan has nothing to do with healthy. Veganism is simply, I'm a vegan, I'm a proud vegan because I am a vegan. There is only one reason to be vegan, which is hens the way they are being treated, or cows when they are being raped and tortured. In 12 years, a cow has given birth to 10 calves. 10 calves, and of the 10, 5 are male, 5 are female. The males have no use, they are killed. And even the 5 females are separated from the mother. It's coming from pain and suffering. After the age of 12, the cow's biological age, cow is biologically designed to live for 18 to 25 years. She still has half of her life. It's like telling a 50-year-old man, oh, you're dead, you should die. We should euthanize you. Is it something we do? He's 50, he's barely 50 or 60, he's reached his middle age. He still has his old age ahead of him. Maybe he'll live up to 100, who knows? What do we do with the cow when she's 12 years old. Most cases in India, India is the largest exporter of beef. So where does the beef come from? Because of milk. Milk is the reason that beef is there, otherwise there is no need. And in 12 years, man, I mean, the greed for milk is so much that a farmer, when they have a dog in the property, they don't care if the dog is neutered and is not giving birth. Because the dog's purpose is just to be a friend, to roam around, take walks. Does a cow take walk? The Animal Welfare Board of India says a cow is biologically designed to walk and run 3 to 5 kilometers daily. Have you seen a cow exercise? They're physically and mentally lame. Is that the milk you want to put in your body? So that's the ethical awareness. Ahimsa. Ahimsa is the first precept in Hinduism and Buddhism. In yoga, the first precept is ahimsa. Milk is not ahimsa. They're telling you cow like from this farm, this ghee, local indigenous cow. Ask them simple question, how old is the cow? Today, if she's 6 years or 7 years old is the ideal age, they will tell you. Maximum age. Why? The biological age is 25. Where is the old cow? Why don't you have a single old cow in your farm? You're talking about cows. You're saying you did not send them for slaughter. What did you do with the old cows? This 5-year-old had a mother or a grandmother or a great-grandmother who should have turned 25 today. Where is she? She's dead. And that's the ethical reality. Veganism is not healthy. Veganism is nothing to do with health, 0% to do with health. Healthy vegan is what is okay. I'm okay with the word healthy vegan. Word vegan is only 100% to do with ethical morality, not stealing from someone. A baby cow, see, when we have a human baby, we don't give him rat's milk. We give him human milk. When a cat or a dog has a child, has a puppy or a kitten, we don't give them cow's milk. They are drinking their mother's milk. Why are we drinking someone else's milk? And that too by putting so much torture and harm on them. That's veganism. Veganism has nothing to do with health. Nutrition is a separate subject, please. Let's not confuse it. The industry has made us believe a biologically and natural food is healthy for us. That's the myth I'm here to bust. But what I'm trying to do is to empower you with the understanding that the everyday palya and the leafy green bhaji and that all the vegetables that you're eating is where real nutrition is. Learn to cook them in the right manner. Eat them as much as possible. Shift your white rice and maida to whole wheat and millets and whole grains. You're sorted. Eat lots of beans, a balanced meal. If you're confused about the proportions, call me or go to the Daily Dozen. Read as much as you can. Empower yourself with the knowledge that you were not given by the corrupted system because you deserve to eat healthy. And it's affordable, it's cheap, it's accessible. You don't need to go to a 5-star hotel to eat a burger that is nutritionally complete. Sorry, a burger is never nutritionally complete. I mean, we have a burger at my restaurant where the bun is made of millets, the patty is air fried or like pan toasted, and the cheese is made of pumpkin seeds, and the mayonnaise is made of cashews. There's not lettuce. Lettuce is okay, but there is arugula for like added leafy green dose, and lots of fresh vegetables, cucumber and tomato. It's a very healthy burger. The French fries are sweet potato, which is air fried. Sweet potato is healthier than white potato, and it's super healthy. And there's a salad with it. It's a nutritionally complete burger. But you're going to McDonald's and thinking you're eating a veggie burger with a maida and a deep fried patty, and that's enough food for you. Even the onion and tomato is pre-sliced, you know. The staff at these fast food restaurants doesn't even slice. So that is what nutrition is. It's very different from veganism. Veganism or vegetarianism, where eating vegetables, is about ethical or morality. It has nothing to do with health. Health is whole food nutrition, or WFPB, whole food plant-based nutrition, that Dr. Achyutan, Dr. Nandita, Upasana or I are promoting. That's a very good question. For children, understanding, first of all, accepting that my child will be healthy without milk is a big process. I recommend you watch a documentary. Yeah, you just eliminate milk, that's number one. But accepting that my child is getting a good diet without milk is step one. Step 2 is believing, emphasizing trust that beans, vegetables and whole grains are best, not for just for me, for everyone, and therefore my child as well, is the starting point. Consulting a nutritionist to plan the diet in a more holistic manner, like Upasana or myself or Dr. Chutan or Dr. Azda, is a good idea to make sure that transition is slow and sustainable. Because suddenly now you're going to go home, I'm an ethical vegan and I'm a healthy eater and I don't know what to eat. Okay, I'm looking at ghee and I'm looking at white rice and I'm looking at vegetable. I don't know how to cook it in the healthiest manner. So the education is slow and it has to be one step at a time. That's how it's sustainable. The curd is very easy. Curd rice and all you can make. Because you're in Bangalore, you can simply find One Good. The company is called One Good. They have peanut curd. If you don't want to buy, if you want to make it yourself, which is even better, you can simply buy soya milk powder from the market or from Amazon. Soya milk powder, buying 1 kilo will be affordable. And you simply mix the powder with water and boil it, let it cool down, add the normal yogurt, 1 tablespoon in 1 liter of milk. 8 hours later, you have the best curd ever. It's soya milk. And it's zero fat. It's full of isoflavones. It's high protein, whatever your checklist is. And full of probiotics, but without the casein and the harmful impact. So, but peanut curd is something you must try. And you can make ganji, is the word, right? Ganji, you can make curd rice, whatever you want with this curd. And once you mix in some spices, there is no difference, believe me. Try it. Peanut curd or soya curd, you can make it yourself. As far as milk is concerned, no need for any milk. The healthiest plant milk, which is over 2000 years old, older than cow's milk in India, we have a milk that is 2000 years old. It's called soya milk from Japan or China. 2000 years of history there is. That's why if you go to Japan, each street has their own soya milk and tofu maker. It's in their daily diet. Okinawa is one of the oldest living, the most successful blue zones in the world. Used to be Okinawa in Japan, and they have soya milk, tofu in their daily diet. But I don't recommend, these are processed food, they are not native to us in India. So have them for your chai if you feel like, or your coffee. Coconut milk you can have little bit. You can buy from Urban Platter coconut cream, because milk is nothing but diluted milk. Like coconut milk, if you're buying coconut milk, you're basically paying for water. So don't do that. Never buy coconut milk. Always buy coconut cream. The one that I recommend is Urban Platters, because usually when you look at coconut cream, it has 10 ingredients in it and 9 of them you cannot understand. They are chemicals. I don't want to put anything in my body or my skin or my system that has chemicals that I have to find on Google whether it's healthy for me or bad, or like what is it. Chemicals are not good. Not all, maybe some of them are very good, like xanthan is good, agar is good, but most of them I want to make sure they are good. So Urban Platters, the best part I find is that it's pure coconut and nothing else. There is 2 ingredients, coconut and water, 2 ingredients, nothing else in it. So try if you're making at home, the problem is going to be that when you're boiling your chai, the milk might become a little greasy because the fat floats on top. When you're boiling the cream, see, I'll tell you a recipe. 100 grams of water, 100 ml water, 1 teaspoon black tea leaves. 1 teaspoon of black tea leaves. Now, for example, chai, 100 grams of water, 1 teaspoon black tea leaves. Now the milk is another 100 grams of milk. Of the 100 grams, only 20 grams of coconut cream, right? And 80 grams of soya milk. 80 grams of soya milk. Coconut for flavor, because soya milk is not so tasty, coconut is tasty. If you're now making with the coconut milk that you have made at home, don't put the milk, make with 80 grams, 70 grams of water. So 30 grams less water, 1 teaspoon, 80 grams soya milk, boil it, cool it, serve it. and put coconut cream milk that you have made at home on top. You understand? Don't boil the coconut milk, so it will not become greasy and it will not separate. The homemade coconut milk, the problem is it might separate, might not boil very well. That's the only thing. Otherwise, you can make coconut milk at home as well, absolutely. For coffee, coconut milk is not, coffee itself is a little something that you might want to control. Maybe 2 cups, 3 cups a week is okay. But more than that is something that is not advisable. And if you're having it, have it less than 1 espresso worth a day, because that's the upper limit. And have it with soya milk as much as possible. If not, almond milk, if not oat milk, if not coconut. So coconut comes last. First priority is soya milk. Mixing soya and a little bit of coconut, just a little touch of coconut is enough to make your coffee tasty, you know. And don't use sugar. Try to drink it black with no sugar. If you're having any coffee at all, like I personally try to not have any coffee or any black tea, just to, it's a stimulant for my nervous system. Go for hibiscus tea, go for lavender tea, go for chamomile tea and other herbal infusions that are good. This answers your question now.